Hello.
Hi, may I speak with Miss Marissa, please?
This her.
Hi, Miss Marissa. This is Creative Doc calling from Learning is Fun Daycare, and we're located down the street from the farmers market. I was just reviewing your application and I was looking over your resume. Are you still interested in the position as a childcare worker?
Who this is again?
We are Learning is Fun Daycare.
Uh, uh, and where y'all located?
We're located down the street from the farmers market.
Oh yeah, I think I remember this one. Yeah, I remember this one. I done applied to so many of them.
Okay, so what's your current job now? I see on your application you've worked from 2019 until 2020.
Right now I'm not working. I'm at home right now. Um, I I just used to babysit my cousin. That's all. But I really need a job right now, so I don't mind. I don't mind working.
Okay, so I would like to get you in for an interview. Are you okay with coming on Wednesday, January 4th at 10 o'clock a.m.?
I'm available really any day. Yeah, I can come in on that day. What time you say?
At 10 o'clock a.m.?
Okay then.
All right. I'll see you then. And if anything changes, please give me a call and let me know.
Okay then.
Yes, ma'am. Bye bye.
Hey, Creative Dot, this is Marissa. I'm sorry I couldn't answer the phone. I found out this morning that my sister, brother, cousin's second nephew dog died, and I'm responsible for going to the funeral and creating the programs for him. And I got to also reach out to the other dogs in the neighborhood as well. So I'm sorry I missed the interview.
Good day, mama. Save to take a step out. Yes, I'm in now.
What's up, everyone? Believe it or not, I'm the Creative Doc bringing you another video. But this time, I want to focus on how to properly interview for a childcare position. Well, any position that you may be interested in. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Bunnies are super cute, but only at home. Tattoos, they're tight too, but only in social settings, around family members, friends. Oh, you can't forget the piercings. The piercings are pretty cool too. But these are all things that you do not want to bring to an interview. Before I jump into the video, let me do a quick spin and get up out of this thing.
Here's the correct way to secure an interview.
Hi, this is Penelope Stone. May I speak with Dr. T, please? Yes, ma'am, I'll hold. Hi, Dr. T, this is Penelope Stone. I recently applied to a post that was made by your organization on abccareer.com, and I wanted to check the status of my application. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm very interested in a position. Yes, I would love to. Yes, I would love to interview. Okay. What date did you say? Okay, give me just a second. Let me make sure I write this down. Okay. Tuesday, January. Yes, 9 a.m. would definitely work. If there are any changes, I'll make sure I give you a call in advance. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And where are you located? Okay, is this the same place I will come for an interview? Thank you so much, Dr. T, for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, January 4th at 9 o'clock a.m. Thanks. Bye.
This is the incorrect way to interview.
I can sit right here. It's 2021. We've just come out of a pandemic. And what did you notice? Some of you may have said a decline in customer service. Some of you may have said that the foods were not tasting as good as it used to be. Some of you who are in those corporate offices or businesses may say that employees should stop working. So the quality of life had declined significantly, all stemming from the pandemic. You would not believe what a lot of employers encountered during this pandemic or at post-pandemic. You would not believe what we encounter when it comes to applicants and hiring people. It also made me wonder, are high schools teaching high school students how to perform in interviews, how to apply? Are they learning it from home? But then again, they may not know, and they may not be hearing it from mom or from dad on how to interview because mom or dad may not know. So instead of me feeling pressed or worried about the applicants that I receive, I figured I'd come on here and do a video for a lot of our high school students that are just unsure about how to secure a job. So we're going to take it step by step. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the application process. So when you are applying for a job, it's important to fill out every single space that is on that application. You do not want to leave anything blank. For those who go through a third-party job posting or job listing, you want to make sure that you are listing a working number. Sometimes we change numbers, things happen, and we forget to update them. But your employer or future employer is not going to be able to contact you if you do not have a working number. Some of those posting sites, job posting sites, will ask you to create a resume, or it will create one for you. One thing that I saw on the resume was that applicants will put things that are in progress and not things that have already been completed or accomplished. So you want to make sure that whatever you put on your resume reflects what you've already done and not what you're about to do. So you've seen from my skit that oftentimes the applicants really don't know the job they're applying to. They don't know what they're applying to, they're just applying. So one thing you do want to know about is what's the job you're applying for and what does it entail? So what comes with it? What are you required to do? I remember when I was first getting out in the job field or in the work field, I had to call and check on my application. A lot of applicants during these times are failing to check on their applications or check on the status of their applications. And it may be because they don't have to. A lot of times us entrepreneurs get in a hurry to where we got to hurry up and fill a position, and they're not receiving proper training. They're not receiving all of the information that they need. So a lot of things get slipped through the gaps or through the cracks. But you must call that job and ask them for the status of your application. Ask them, hey, did you get a chance to see it? Did you get a chance to review it? Because sometimes we forget. A very important thing to do when you're applying for a job is to make sure that you stand out. You have to find out what makes you different from the rest of the applicants. What type of assets do you bring to that company or to that business by joining their team? If you want to get a little technical or do things the right way, you should create a cover sheet as well as your own resume to send to that employer, manager, supervisor, human resource director, etc. But you should definitely send them a separate email with those items so that they'll remember who you are. So let's say you've been invited to interview. So your next step is to agree on a date with that employer. The date may work out, it may not work out, but make sure that whatever date you agree to, you commit to it and you stick with it. If you know that 2 days prior to your interview, you won't have a ride or something will come up or you'll need a babysitter that you can't secure in time, you must call that employer and let them know, hey, thank you so much for the opportunity, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to either decline or reschedule my interview. And then you go ahead and you proceed with what you recommend as far as the dates go. So you may say, do you have an availability or an opening for next Monday, January 10th at 9:30 a.m. Now, if you suggest that date and time, make sure again that you commit to it and you stick to it, because that employer is counting on you to show up to that interview. Most of the time, us employers will know the type of worker you will be based on the first few interactions we have with you. So your ability to answer the phone, will you answer the phone or will you just text your response? Another question that we may pose to ourselves is, if this person does not show up for the interview, will they show up for the job? Most of the time, no. Another question that we may pose or ask ourselves is, if this person comes dressed inappropriately for the interview, will they come dressed inappropriately for the job? So again, oftentimes our first few interactions with you will tell us about your work ethics. Now, some of you may not know what work ethics is because it took me some time to understand what work ethics is. So your work ethics is your ability to show up on time, your ability to work with others, collaborating, how you dress, how you appear. Those things are work ethics. Another topic that is important is dress code. Again, some people may not know how to dress for an interview because they have not had that experience. They have not had someone to talk with them and to explain to them how you should dress for an interview. And I can tell you now that you do not wear club items or club materials to an interview. You do not have to wear a two-piece suit. You do not have to wear a wedding dress. But you do need to wear something that you would probably go to church in if you go to church. If you don't go to church, you would need to wear some nice slacks that are not jeans and a nice shirt that does not show the cleavage. I should not have to say this, but if you are a lady, you should know to wear a bra. As I mentioned earlier, tattoos, piercings, bonnets, they are cool. I have them, I wear them, but they are not appropriate for an interview. If you have tattoos, a good practice would be to cover them up or to wear a long shirt or long pants at that interview. One thing that really bothers me are piercings, and not just any piercings, but the piercings that are in the middle of the face, on the side of the face, those really visible piercings that are a distraction to the people who are looking at you. I'm going to be honest, if I have an applicant coming to my facility and they have piercings all over their faces, they have the septum, they have double nose rings, they have the eyebrow, they have the lip, they have the chin, they have all of these things going on, I'm not going to be focused on what that person is saying. I'm going to be looking at that person's piercings. Now, I must clear the air and say that we do not discriminate in any form or fashion. But when you are interviewing for a position, it's important to dress for the occasion. Young ladies, those eyelashes that are past the nose, they're very cute for social events, but they do not need to be at an interview with you. If you are applying for a childcare position, and maybe other positions require this as well, your nails should be at an appropriate length. You cannot hold infants or toddlers or interact with them with long nails. You have to be careful about that. All it takes is a mistake of you scratching that child, and then the director will have to explain to that parent what happened to that child. You do not want to be the reason a child got scratched or injured because of your long nails. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of backfire about what I'm saying, but I'm trying to help someone secure a job so that they can later secure the bag. When you are interviewing or when you are applying for a certain job, you have to remember that you are not only a representation of yourself, but you are also a representation of that company and of that business. I used to tell my teachers, you are the face of the business of the daycare. So your parents, you're going to be the first person your parents see. Another question pertaining to interviews would be, what should you bring to an interview? I would say bring your cover sheet, bring a resume with the things that you already accomplished and not what you're doing. And then you also may want to bring examples on the type of work that you've done that pertains to that job. Examples are always good. Remember, you want to stand out. You want to show that job and that company that they need you on their team. When you say, I've applied to so many jobs, I don't know which one this is, that shows the employer that you're not concerned with working with them. You're only trying to get a job. And I'm going to be honest, when I have applicants that tell me, I have so many jobs I applied for, I take it as they're not serious about what I have going on or what our children require. Again, they're only interested in securing a bag. A good practice would be to jot down the companies and businesses that you've applied to and the positions that they are offering. That way, when they call you or you call to check on your status of the application, you can refer back to your notes on the business that you called and applied to, as well as the position that they have to offer. Ask yourself, which one of these sounds better? Hello, what job is this again? And what was the position for? Or, hi, Miss Daniel, this is Parker. I'm calling to check on the status of my application. I see you have a position at your facility for a toddler pre-K teacher. Is that position still available? Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. Another thing you want to make sure that you do is to keep a good posture. So you want to sit up and you want to be confident about what you're saying. Remember, your posture is your body language. It tells that person everything they need to know about your personality, about your work ethic. If you are applying for a job as a childcare teacher or a childcare worker, remember that this differs from babysitting. So even though babysitting sounds good and it does give you that experience that you need, remember it's completely different. So childcare consists of multitasking. It consists of following the policies and procedures of that daycare, as well as following state standards. Lastly, when you are getting ready to depart from the person who's interviewing you, you want to make sure that, again, you're confident in what you just did. You want to make sure that you thank them for the opportunity for interviewing you and that you hope they will consider you for employment. Another suggestion is to send a follow-up email to that employer within 3 to 5 business days to check on that interview and to see if you were considered as a future employee of that business or company. I'm hoping you can use the information that I provided in this video to help you with your future interviews, and I'm hoping that you are even more confident than you have ever been before on your interviews. But remember that you can do all things through Christ, and we're gonna walk this thing out together because you're gonna get that job and you're gonna secure the bag. Bye.